Welcome to Light of the Hill Ministries. Today we will be reading through what the world commonly calls the Gospels, also known as the Good News. Before we begin, I'd like to share a little context. Over the years, I have personally translated portions of the Hebrew, Greek and Aramaic New Covenant, while also consulting various Bible translations to best convey the meaning of the text. Rather than following the traditional verse-by-verse format, we will be reading the scriptures text by text. This is simply a reading of the word in chronological order, without commentary or teaching, allowing the scriptures to speak for themselves. So, wherever you are, take a moment to settle your heart and listen to the words of our Master. May Yahweh bless you, and Shalom to your homes. And now, let us begin the reading. The genealogy of Yahushua. Genealogy through Joseph. The book of the genealogy of Yahushua Messiah, son of David, son of Abraham. Abraham brought forth Yitzchak. And Yitzchak brought forth Yaakov. And Yaakov brought forth Yehudah and his brothers. And Yehudah brought forth Peretz and Zerach by Tamar, and Peretz brought forth Chetzron. And Chetzron brought forth Ram. And Ram brought forth Aminadab. And Aminadab brought forth Naxon. And Naxon brought forth Salmon. And Salmon brought forth Boaz by Rachav. And Boaz brought forth Oved by Ruth. And Oved brought forth Yishai. And Yishai brought forth David the king. And David the king brought forth Shelomo by Uriah's wife. And Shelomo brought forth Rechavam. And Rechavam brought forth Aviah. And Aviah brought forth Asa. And Asa brought forth Jehoshaphat. And Jehoshaphat brought forth Joram. And Joram brought forth Uzziah. And Uzziah brought forth Jotham. And Jotham brought forth Achaz. And Achaz brought forth Chizkiyahu. And Chizkiyahu brought forth Manasseh. And Manasseh brought forth Amon. And Amon brought forth Yoshiyahu. And Yoshiyahu brought forth Jeconiah and his brothers at the time of the exile to Babel. And after the exile to Babel, Jeconiah brought forth Shealtiel. And Shealtiel brought forth Zerubbabel. And Zerubbabel brought forth Avihud. And Avihud brought forth Eliakim. And Eliakim brought forth Azor. And Azor brought forth Sadok. And Sadok brought forth Akim. And Akim brought forth Elihud. And Elihud brought forth Eleazar. And Eleazar brought forth Matan. And Matan brought forth Yaakov. And Yaakov brought forth Joseph the husband of Miriam, of whom was born Yahushua, who is called Messiah. So all the generations from Abraham to David were 14 generations, and from David until the exile to Babel were 14 generations, and from the exile to Babel until the Messiah were 14 generations. The genealogy through Miriam. Yahushua was by law a son of Joseph, of Eli, of Mattathiahu, of Lui, of Melichi, of Yanna, of Joseph, of Mattathiahu, of Amitz, of Nachum, of Chesley, of Noga, of Marth, of Mattathiahu, of Shimi, of Joseph, of Yehudah, of Jochanan. Of Rephaiah, of Zerubbabel, of Shealtiel, of Neri, of Melichi, of Adi, of Kosam, of Elmodam, of of Yehoshua, of Eliezer, of Joram, of Mattathiahu, of Lui, of Shimon, of Yehudah, of Joseph, of Yonam, of Eliakim, of Meliah, of Menah. Of Mattatah, of Nathan, of David, of Yishai, of Oved, of Boaz, of Salmon, of Naxon, of Aminadab, of Ram, of Chetzron, of Peretz, of Yehudah, of Yaakov, of Yitzchak, of Abraham, of Terach, of Nachor, of Serug, of Reu, of Peleg. Of Ever, of Shalach, of Kenan, of Arpachshad, of Shem, of Noach, of Lemech, of Methushalach, of Charnoch, of Yerd, of Mahalalel, of Kenan, of Enosh, of Sheth, of Adam, of Elohim. Now it came to pass in those days, that it went out from Caesaros, severed, Augustus, venerable, a decree to count all the inhabitants of the world. And this was the first numbering since Quirinius, warrior, ruler in Syria. And all went to be numbered each man to his city. And Joseph also went up out of the Galilee the city of Nazareth into Yehudah to the city of David, called Beth Lechem, house of bread, because he was of the family and house of David. And was counted with Miriam, who was betrothed to him, and was pregnant. And it came to pass when they were there, and the days were completed for her to give birth, and she bore her firstborn son and wrapped him in swaddling clothes and laid him in a manger, because there was no room for them at the lodging place. Thank you for watching and listening. If you found this to be a blessing, please consider sharing, liking, and please click on the notification button to be notified of the next good news reading. Also, please comment below on how we can pray for you and how this has blessed you. Yahweh bless and Shalom to your homes.